Hey guys, it's Malon or Malonb from Facebook or malonb.etsy.com. This is my first episode of Malon Makes, as I'm sure you can get from the title. Thank you guys for watching. If you are familiar with my channel, then you already know that I have been making videos under the cast of crew, just sharing with you guys what I make. Yarn wise, you guys know I crochet and I knit, as well as spin and dye yarn. So I do share that with you, of course. And this will be the same basic type of video. I'm not really gonna change much of it up because I don't really see a need. It's just basically sharing with you guys about what I'm working on, as well as a little bit of life stuff at the end if you guys decide to watch that. But before I start, I'm hoping you guys had a good weekend in the US. Today, Monday, is President's Day. Hopefully you guys are staying warm. To my surprise, last night, and I don't usually check the weather that often, so to my surprise, when I woke up this morning, it had snowed. We got about, I would say in total, maybe like 4 to 6 inches, something like that. So I mean, today's a holiday for my husband anyway, so he wouldn't have gone to work. But even if it was not a holiday, he probably wouldn't have. We're in the eastern part of the country. I'm in Virginia, so we're not the best, pretty close to Washington DC. We're not the best at driving when it snows, if you guys know what I mean. So anyway, it's pretty chilly. I just been feeling pretty lazy, honestly. Although I do have quite a few items to show you guys since last time. So let me just get into those. Oh, and also I did mean to wish you guys a happy Valentine's Day if you guys celebrate that. We do not. If you don't know when it was yesterday, the 14th of February 14th. And today also is actually our anniversary, so that's pretty exciting. Although we don't really celebrate that either. We usually just go out and do dinner or something like that. But with the snow and everything, I mean, you know, there's no rush. We're probably going to postpone it for some time during the week. I mean, again, it's not really a big deal. Okay, but knitting wise, I do have a couple of items to show you guys. This is one I was working on last time and I have completed it. What was the name of this one? This was called the Nash's Garter Stitch Baby Sweater. And that one came from a book I got from the library. It's called One More Skein. And the sweater is this one in the middle right here. Really cute. I did have to go and renew this from the library because it was due, but I have some time to return it now. But my sweater looks like this. Again, it is complete. I think it turned out pretty cute. And again, my aim was to try and use up my stash yarn. So I used up all the little bit I had of this lighter brown. This skin also, I used that all up. I was hoping to have enough blue to just have this be like two-tone, you know, just like the blue and the light brown, but I didn't. I did have to go actually and purchase the brown yarn. I did have brown in my stash, but it wasn't the same type of yarn as the others, I believe, and I kind of wanted to, you know, to match, since this specifically I did make for my baby. Again, if you guys have been with me, you know I'm expecting and I'm doing April. So I just wanted to be, you know, more matching as far as the type of yarn, if I could do that. And I just used some green buttons because that's all I had that would somewhat match. And again, I didn't want to go out and have to buy anything else for it. And the ends, I just did some more blue. I like the pattern. I think it turned out pretty cute. The only thing I'm iffy about is the length of the sleeve. Like, would that really fit a kid? Again, I haven't been around babies for like 20 years, so I have no idea. And also the shape of it. Like, is this really the shape of a kid's arm? If you guys know what I mean. I was kind of iffy about the shape. Wasn't really thrilled with it. But at the same time, since I don't really know any better at this time, I'm assuming it will fit and it will look okay. But yeah, anyway, I think it is pretty, it turned out alright. I still have to wash it, which I will be doing a little closer to April, just so it's ready for him to wear. I'm pretty sure I made the size newborn to 3 months, I think. And I'm hoping it fits, but again, I don't have a problem waiting for him to grow into it. So that's my first finished object or finished project. The next one is a hat. And this one, all my projects I do have on Ravelry, if you guys want to check them out there as far as more information about them. This one I made a hat, or the next one is a hat from this book, the Bernat Alpaca Natural Blends. I didn't use alpaca for it. I used, again, some stuff from my stash. I think it's some DK weight, and they didn't have the labels, so I have no idea exactly what's the brand of yarn it is, but I'm pretty sure it's acrylic and it was DK weight. This is the hat. It is striped. Let me actually look it up for you guys. I think it's something like button hat or something like that. And for this one, actually, the book, the book itself is on Ravelry, but the specific pattern is not listed there. So in my project page, I just put something like, I made this pattern from this book, but the project wasn't there. I wasn't able to link it directly. Oh, this is it. It's button hat and scarf, but of course I only did the hat. So I made this version, the striped version. I don't know, can you see that? Okay. And actually, I don't know if they have, okay, this picture is of the hat without stripes. I don't know if they have any better pictures than that. But this was just mainly oh, here's a striped version. I picked this up when I had a doctor's appointment, and I just needed something to do, so I was just like, let me pick up some yarn and let me work on it. I made the adult size. I think that's the only size I had here, the adult size, and they called it something like, it says the hat fits an average lady. So I guess it's sort of like a one size fits all kind of thing, but actually I'm not sure if it called for DK. It probably called for worsted weight, honestly. I didn't check that. I just picked up, some scraps of yarn and that needle that I thought would be, working okay with it. I didn't really worry about the size. I knew it was not going to be for me. And this actually turned out more like a child size. Again, which is not a problem. I usually donate the hats I make anyway, so that's really not a problem. But this turned out, via the pattern, they have you make the hat, it's a flat piece, and then have a seam or seam it up afterward. So I did that for the rim here in order to make the little tab and everything. But when I got to the body, I offset it so I could work it on the round. If you kind of see here, I don't know if you can tell, but I just offset it a little bit so I can work the rest in the round, because I definitely did not want to bother with, actually sewing up the seam, since that's not my most favorite thing to do. I am working on one, or I do have one work in progress, knitting wise. And this is another little sweater I got, and this book is also from the library. It is called What to Knit When You're Expecting. It's really cute. And this one is called, I think that, it is the Little Old Man Cardigan. It looks like this. Really cute. That's the one I'm working on. And for this one, it does call for DK yarn. I am using actually some baby yarn. I don't know if I have the yarn label here. Let me check. Oops. I'm sorry, let me dig for it. I finished with the body, so I'm just waiting to start on the sleeves. This is what I have so far. So I finished the body. My body, actually, I added 3 buttons, because via the pattern it only has 2 buttons at the end or at the bottom, but I added 1 more button because I was, I guess my gauge, since it's not really exact ever, it was a little short. I needed some more to go before I actually reached the whatever length it called for. So I just added one more button, so it will have 3 instead of 2. And the end product, it actually turned out being a little longer than what it's called for, but I don't think that's a problem. But anyway, this is the sweater. Again, finish the body. I just need to start on the sleeves. And because it's kind of neutral, I wanted to have a couple of stripes on the sleeves. I just need to, I have not had a chance to dig through my stash yet and see if I have, more DK yarn of a color I want to pair this up with. I'm having a boy, so I'm hoping I have some, I don't know, maybe some green, maybe some blue in DK. Actually, I don't know what I have, so I have to really look through there. And this yarn has little spots of color. It looks like some brown, dark brown, some greens, even a little bit of yellow or light brown. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see that or not. And obviously this will be washed and stuff before or after I finish it. But this is a pretty easy sweater. And the yarn I'm using, oh, I did start a second skein. The yarn I'm using is called Dream Baby DK by Plymouth Yarn. It's 50% acrylic, microfiber, and 50% nylon. And what is the color? It doesn't have a color name, it just has a dye lot. But yeah, this is the yarn. It's actually pretty enjoyable to work with. I'm not really having any issues with it. And I'm pretty close to done, so hopefully by next time I'll have it finished for you guys. And I'm hoping I have a color. Again, I'm looking for maybe like a brown, a green, a blue maybe. I do have those colors as far as buttons go, so hopefully I can have something that matches that way. And as far as what I want to be knitting next, I don't have any specifics, but I did wind up or cake up my yarn pick for the month, which, as you guys know, it was more hand spun. I didn't start anything with this yet. I'm hoping to find a pattern, and for this one specifically, or for hand spun specifically, I think I prefer knitting as opposed to crocheting, just because I feel like it kind of shows off the yarn more in a way that I like. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. So I want to do something simple, like something, well, maybe not garter stitch. I would say maybe like just like something knitted that would show off the yarn itself, all the colors in it, as well as, the small variations. As you guys can see, there's some thicker, thinner spots, etc. I think that will be really nice. The one project or pattern I thought I would be making with this is and I forgot the name of it. I should have looked it up, but it's a cowl that looks like a bandana. I think that maybe that's what the name of it is, bandana cowl or something, which I've made a couple of times before. So I'll just have to see if I find something else, or if you guys have any specific pattern you like to use for hand spun that is pretty simple, definitely let me know. I'll look into it for sure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to using this, of course. Now, as far as crochet, I have 3 items that are complete, or that I am counting as complete. Let me start with the first one. I finished some baby booties from this book. This is from my library. It's called Baby Crochet. I picked this up probably some years ago from a Borders that was closing in my area. And this is the pattern. In their version, they put little bears on it. I did not. And they just called it booties. For me, I found that the pattern is pretty easy to follow, really simple. However, is using the hook they recommended, which is an H hook with worsted weight yarn. I just used Red Heart Super Saver. They came out really huge, so I went down a hook size to size G, and even then I think they came out pretty big. However, the pattern itself, the first size they have is 0 to 9 months. So that's like a pretty wide range. Yeah, I felt like that was a pretty wide range. So it being so big, I guess it's not that surprising. And the second size I had is 12 to 18 months. I did the 0 to 9 months. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to wait for him to grow into those because they are pretty big. So, and I actually meant to stuff them just to kind of give it some shape, but I forgot to. But these are it anyway. This is what they look like. And they were made to sort of be inspired by The Legend of Zelda, or Link from The Legend of Zelda. I did make the cuffs a little longer just so I had more space or more to work with when I folded them over, because that's how I wanted them. And the only other thing I'm not sure about, and again it just depends on when I guess he's actually gonna start wearing these. The way you work these are from the top down, and the end that you sew together is at the bottom here, as you can see. So you're left with a hole, and then you like whip stitch, or that's what I did, I whip stitched it together. So the only thing I'm really worried about is if he's actually walking by the time he wears these. I don't know if that will bother him, like the fact that there's, you know, it's not like a smooth fabric, if you guys know what I mean. I don't know if that's gonna make much of a difference, but I guess we will see. And this is somewhat what it will look like with his foot inside. Oh, and then the only other difference there is between this and the pattern, other than the longer cuff, I did make this in the round. Via the pattern, you have to slip stitch every row, and that just annoys me. That always confuses my count. I mean, I know how to whip stitch and then, you know, start a new row and slip stitch or whatever you do in order for all the rows to actually line up with each other. Because you guys know when you're working around, it's like you're working on a spiral kind of thing. But for some reason, I always, if I don't count every row, which gets tiring and kind of boring, honestly, if I don't count every row when I'm doing that, I always end up with either extra, like an extra stitch or two, or maybe I'm missing a stitch. Just because that slip stitch, I'm never sure if I'm supposed to count that as one, if I'm to use that as one stitch, or if I'm, you know, I'm supposed to skip that. Like, I'm not really sure about that. So in order to make it easier for me, since I didn't make one first again with the H hook and it came out huge, I was gonna redo it anyway. I was like, let me just do it in the round. So that's what I did. And I'm not sure if I want to add anything more to this. I don't know if this is complete. Again, being somewhat inspired by Link, I don't know if I want to make this part of a, you know, like an outfit I'm going to make or not. And if not, I would want to add something else to it. Just browsing online, if you look up booties, a Legend of Zelda booties or Link booties or something, of course you will come up with pictures or items others had made inspired by, you know, by the same character. And looking at those, there are some really cute ones that have the Triforce on here. So I'm thinking if I decide not to make these part of an actual outfit, that's what I probably will do. But again, just haven't decided yet. But I think for now I'm just calling them complete. They're pretty cute. Gonna be waiting. Also have not been washed, of course, until closer to whenever he's due. The next items is a set, also inspired by The Legend of Zelda or Link. I made a cocoon with a hat set, and this I also showed you guys last time, I believe. This is a free pattern. I didn't bring it with me, but the information is on my Ravelry page. This is the cocoon. This one is inspired specifically by Link from the Wind Waker. The Wind Waker is one of my favorite games, and I think it turned out pretty cute. The yarn I used for this is not Red Heart Super Saver. The belt and the yellow part is Red Heart, but the actual green part is some yarn I repurposed from a sweater. This is, I love this yarn, and I don't know what color green it is, but That's what yarn I used. It's pretty soft, pretty roomy. From the pattern up here, I did a front back, is that what you call it? Front and back double crochet rib, as opposed to, I think in the pattern they do something like, I think it's either all fronts double crochet or all back double crochet, something like that. But I just decided to do the regular ribbing front and back and alternate those. The pattern also has an option to do a ribbing. If you know how to knit, you can also knit the ribbing as well. But I just decided to do crochet because it's faster. And I just wanted to get done with this. So this is what it looks like. Really cute. And the hat, I used a different pattern for. Actually, the pattern for the cocoon didn't come with a pattern for a hat. So for the hat, I did have to find another pattern I thought would work well. I think it did. And also, for the set, I have only one Ravelry project page, but I listed the pattern I used for this as well there, if you guys want to go check it out. And again, it's just a little hat inspired by Link. If you guys know him, then he wears a hat like this, except the X or the details on the sides, but I just thought that would be a cute addition. But anyway, I like the set a lot. I will be using it. I probably will be using the cocoon often, hopefully, hoping that he fits into it. And if I don't use it that often, because again, he's gonna be born in April, so I don't know how big he will be. If he doesn't, or if the weather is not too cold for him to wear it, I probably will definitely at least use it as a photo prop. I think it'll be really cute. And I do have one last thing I finished crochet wise, and I actually do need to add a couple of details to it still, but I finished with the crochet portion, so I'm just counting it as complete. I made a little rainbow unicorn. Again, I didn't write down who is having it, but one of the other podcasters, again, I don't know who it is exactly, is doing a rainbow along, and I decided to make something rainbow. This is using ice yarn, and I think the colorway, I didn't bring it, but the colorway is called something like Dancing Baby, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Dancing Baby. So it is just a rainbow colorway, and this is it. It's a little amigurumi unicorn. This is what it looks like. And I just decided to do the muzzle and the mane or the hair in white, just so the rainbow like wouldn't overpower, if you guys know what I'm trying to say. And of course the horn I just made with yellow. So I do have the nostrils cut out. I'm planning to do the details, nostrils, and also the eyes. These are just pins I put in where I want the eyes to be. But all the details I probably will do with felt. Again, I have the nostrils already to glue on there. And the eyes, actually, I was going between either do I make them with felt. I also usually do just like a little dot that would look similar to this. A little dot of fabric paint, or if I want to use a button for the eyes. So that's all I have to decide, what I want the eyes to be, and otherwise it's complete. So I probably will do it right after I finish the recording and this is loading, and then it'll be done. But I think it turned out pretty cute. And this is not a free pattern. It also came from a book, which I bought a while ago. This one is called Amigurumi Toy Box, and it's this character right here. But obviously I use different yarn. Again, really cute. And I actually made this pattern quite a few times before. I made some Epona inspired amigurumis. And again, if you guys are not familiar with Epona, it's another Legend of Zelda character. It's his horse, which is also pretty cute. I am actually not working on anything specifically as far as crochet goes, but I did want to maybe I was thinking about making a bigger amigurumi for, again, when my kid is born in April, just so he can have something, or you know, maybe like make something special. I don't have a specific theme or anything for, you know, for his things, or we don't have a nursery. He's just gonna be sharing the room with us for now, so there's no specific theme or anything. Although I guess kind of obvious, the stuff I've been making is more of like video game related stuff, like sort of my favorites kind of thing. And I wanted to make a bigger amigurumi that he can have, so when he's older, maybe it'll be one of those he can, you know, just like hug around and run around with. But I just don't know what character I would want to make, or if I even want to make one that big. I don't even know how big I would want to make it. But I'm thinking about that. And also I was thinking maybe something, some kind of accessory or some kind of decoration for the crib. So I'll just have to see. As far as talking about him and what I'm making him, I did dye some yarn last week. I haven't dyed yarn in the longest time. I had some superwash merino that I could use to dye. You guys know I do have an Etsy shop where I sell my dyed stuff as well. Again, I haven't dyed in the longest time, but when I do, I do have a lot of that in stock still. Superwash merino. Let me actually bring it for you, or let me go get it. So I dyed a couple of colors. The first one is a solid color blue, and I dyed this. It was my first time trying out Ritz dye, which is, I think usually they use to dye clothing. Like I've seen a lot of shirts and stuff being dyed with that, but I never tried it with yarn. Or I haven't used it in general really, but I wanted to try with yarn, so that's what I did. This is the first one, and this is supposed to be a whole skein, unfortunately, and I do have pictures of this. I don't know if I posted on Ravelry or not, but I probably have pictures of this, and if not, I will make sure they're up there. I took pictures of my skein. Unfortunately, my skein had a couple of ripped pieces in it, or rips in it in general, and I don't know if it's because, I mean, I'm pretty sure it didn't happen while I had the yarn, but I'm thinking maybe while they were, you know, I guess stocking it or something, it got caught on something. That's what it looks like, and like the strands got pulled, and then two or three, I think it's only, this is a 3-ply, so probably like 2 of the strands got broken. They broke. So this is why when I was rescanning it after dyeing, I just have, you know, a smaller one and a bigger one. But this is the Ritz dye, and I forgot the name of the color I used. I think it's just called navy blue, something like that. But it came out, it's a really nice tonal. It has like little variations of a lighter and darker blue in there. I think you guys can probably pick it up. And I did want to make, obviously since it's a boy, I wanted to make something blue with it, or blue for him, but I didn't want just blue. I wanted something to, you know, to stripe it with, since I'm into stripes somewhat. So I just did a speckled yarn using the same color, except this one, obviously I left mostly white or mostly undyed. And for the speckles, all I did was literally speckled some of the dye in there, you know, at random times. And for this one as well, I had a couple, well, one break I think on this one. For the blue one, I had a couple of breaks. But for this one, I also had one break in there, so I ended up with a small one as well. I fell down. Let me actually get it. So I have like a big version and a mini version. It's pretty cute. I like the mini versions, although, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be doing any project that's so small like that. So I have been looking at patterns and ideas of what I actually want to make with this. What else do I want to make for him, since I'm already working on my second sweater. Last time I think I showed you guys, I already have a few hats for him. I do want to make one more knitted hat at least, so maybe I'm going to knit a hat with this, you know, make it striped or whatever. But other than that, I don't know what else I want to make. I don't want to make any more sweaters as of now. I don't really want to make pants. I mean, what else can I make? I don't want to make shoes with it. I was thinking of another blanket. You guys know I made a crocheted blanket earlier. Yeah, I don't know, a couple of episodes ago maybe. So I don't know if it's gonna need another blanket. And if I do want to make a blanket, I don't know if I want to use these colors. So I don't know. You guys tell me, what else can I make that will be good, that will look good as striped, because I want to use these both together if possible, or somewhat color blocked. I don't know what you call that, where, you know, like maybe half, the top half is one color, maybe the bottom half is another color. I don't really know what you call that technique, but I am looking into patterns for that. What else? I haven't, other than that, I haven't dyed any more yarn. I have been working on, I think last time I showed you guys that green yarn I've been spinning. I'm still working on that. What else? I think that's all as far as yarn wise. I don't have any additional things I'm looking forward to working on. I still have been looking through my library slowly. There's things I have noted that I want to make, but again, nothing I pulled out already and, you know, have in mind to make in the next couple of weeks. Now let me just go to the live stuff. So if you guys do not want to watch, I'm leaving now. Thank you so much for watching. As far as the live stuff, I started my 3rd trimester, so I'm getting pretty large, and it's actually getting more uncomfortable for me in a general sense. Not really enjoying myself. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say about that? I'm just not really enjoying myself as much as I was. It's not as easy as it has been. And I'm pretty sure the bigger it gets, the more uncomfortable it will become, which I'm not really looking forward to. The other thing is, I have not set up the crib yet. I have made a space in my bedroom to set it up. I do have a dresser I plan to move there as well, that we will be using for, you know, the baby clothing and all its stuff and everything. I need to empty that out, and then I'll move it into the bedroom. Then I plan to set up the crib. As far as the other stuff, yesterday actually we went to browse some other baby stuff in general, and I ended up purchasing a, what do you call it? Oh, like a play yard. I don't know. I think they call it pack and play, something like that. It's like a play yard for the kid. When it gets older, you can just put him in there. He can run around inside. And the one I got was one that has like a little sleeping and changing section on the top. So that was pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to getting and using that. What else? Oh, I did want to ask you ladies, those of you, or anyone, you don't have to be a lady. I'm pretty sure it can be, I don't know if guys actually watch this, but if you're a dad and you have some tips, definitely also share with me. As far as wipes and diapers and stuff like that, the small things, I think I have most of the big things. Again, as far as the crib, I just got the pack and play thing. I have the car seat, the stroller. As far as the small things like wipes and diapers, what do you guys recommend in doing for that? Because I've been browsing some of the pregnancy boards. A lot of them, I've seen both, that either they, stock up, they go to, maybe Costco or, Sam's Club, and then they get diapers on sale, like the huge boxes, which sounds like a good idea. But at the same time, there's the other posts that say, my baby was or is allergic to this type or that type of diaper, or they can only stand, this type, or, this type gives them a rash or something. So it's like, I don't know if I need to stock up, or what would be the better option, to stock up on, like a specific brand, or I was just thinking of getting like the smallest package of a number of different brands. That way I can try them all out, see what he will actually adjust to, what won't, give him a rash, or what he likes better, or I'm sure you guys know what I mean. That's what I was planning to do, just get a lot of small packages of different brands so I can try them all out. The same thing with wipes. The same thing goes for, I guess, if you plan on using, you know, like rash creams, or I don't know, shampoos. Like I don't know what else you would need to put on the baby that would matter. So if you guys have any tips about that, or maybe share your experiences with me, if you would want to do that, you know, please do so. Okay, I think that is it. Thank you guys for watching again, and I'll probably will see you in a couple of weeks. I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks, and I will see you next time. Bye.